Did you know that in some countries, over 50% of paid vacation days go completely unused? That's hundreds of millions of days of rest, travel, and recovery just left on the table. So why is it so hard to ask for the time off we've earned and desperately need? Hi everyone, I'm your host Sarah, and welcome back to the channel. Today, we're going to look into a skill that is essential for your career and your well-being: how to professionally ask for vacation time. And of course, we'll learn some fantastic English together along the way. Let's start with a feeling I think we all know. It's that slow, creeping feeling of exhaustion. You know, when your brain feels like a computer with too many tabs open and you start making small mistakes at work. That feeling is often a sign of burnout. Burnout is a state of physical or emotional exhaustion caused by too much stress. For example, after working for 12 months without a break, she was suffering from burnout. It's a serious issue, and taking time off is one of the best ways to prevent it. But here's something fascinating: vacations don't just help you recover. Studies have shown that they can actually boost your creativity and problem-solving skills when you return. You literally come back to work with a better, fresher brain. So, think of a vacation not as escaping work, but as an investment in your future performance. But knowing you need a break is one thing, asking for it professionally is a completely different challenge. It all starts with timing. You can't just decide on Monday morning that you want to take the rest of the week off. Well, you can, but it's not a great idea. The key is to give your boss and your team plenty of advance notice. Advance notice is a very common collocation. It means telling someone about something before it happens. For example, you need to give at least 2 weeks advance notice if you want to take a vacation. Giving advance notice shows respect for your colleagues and their time. It allows your manager to plan for your absence and make sure your work is covered. So, how much notice is enough? A good rule of thumb is to ask at least twice as far in advance as the length of the vacation you want to take. If you want 1 week off, ask at least 2 weeks before. If you want 2 weeks off, try to ask a month before. Before you even think about writing an email, you need to do a little research. Look at the company calendar. Are there any major deadlines or important projects happening during the time you want to be away? Asking for a vacation during the company's busiest quarter is probably not going to get a positive response. You need to be strategic. The goal is to make it as easy as possible for your boss to say yes. This is where you need to be a little proactive. Proactive is a great word. It means taking action and making changes happen instead of just reacting to things. For example, she is very proactive about managing her projects. Being proactive means you anticipate potential problems. You think ahead. Check with your team members to make sure your absence won't create a major issue for them. A quick, informal chat can be very helpful. You could say something like, "Hey, I'm thinking of taking a few days off in June. Would that cause any problems for the team's schedule?" This shows you are a considerate team player. So you've checked the calendar, you've talked to your colleagues, and you've picked your dates. Now it's time to make the official request. For most companies, this means writing a formal email. This email is important, and it doesn't need to be complicated. It should be clear, concise, and professional. Let's break down what a perfect vacation request email looks like. It starts with the subject line. This needs to be incredibly clear. Something like vacation request, your name, is perfect. Your manager is busy, and a clear subject line helps them see what the email is about immediately. Don't try to be clever here, just be straightforward. Straightforward means direct, honest, and easy to understand. For example, his instructions were very straightforward. Now for the body of the email. You want to start with a polite and direct opening. You can say something like, I would like to request vacation time from start date to end date. Notice the direct language. You are not saying, I was wondering if maybe I could possibly. Be confident. You have earned this time. After you state your requested dates, it's a good idea to mention the total number of days you'll be away. This just makes it crystal clear. For example, this would be a total of 7 working days. This avoids any confusion. It's a small detail, but it shows you are organized. Now comes the most important part of the email. This is where you go from just asking for time off to being a truly professional and reliable employee. You need to briefly explain how you will prepare for your absence. This is the part that removes any stress or worry your manager might have. You are showing them that you have already thought about the potential impact of your vacation. You could write something like, I will make sure all of my projects are up to date before I leave. I am also working with colleagues' name to ensure a smooth handover of any urgent tasks. A smooth handover is a great business collocation. It refers to the process of passing your responsibilities to another person without any problems. For example, we need to plan for a smooth handover before the new manager starts. This single sentence is incredibly powerful. It tells your boss that you are responsible and that the company won't have problems while you're gone. You're not just disappearing, you're preparing the team for a seamless transition. A seamless transition, by the way, means a change from one state to another that happens without any problems. For example, the new software update provided a seamless transition. Finally, you end the email with a simple, polite closing. Something like, please let me know if these dates are suitable. Thank you for your consideration. And then sign off with your name. That's it. Clear, simple, and professional. You haven't made excuses and you haven't been overly emotional. You have presented a logical, well-planned request. But what happens if your manager doesn't approve it right away? What if they are a little hesitant? Hesitant means you are unsure or slow to act or speak. For example, he was hesitant to ask for a raise. If your boss seems unsure, don't panic. The first step is to listen. They will likely have a valid reason. Maybe there's a new project they haven't announced yet, or another team member has already requested the same time off. Ask questions to understand the situation better. You could say, I understand. Could you tell me more about the concerns so I can see how I can help? This is where you might need to come up with a different plan. Come up with is a very common phrasal verb. It means to think of an idea or a plan. For example, she came up with a great idea for the party. Maybe you can compromise. Perhaps you can take your vacation a week later, or you could offer to be available for a true emergency. However, I want to be careful with that last point. A vacation should be a real break, but showing a little flexibility can make a big difference. It shows that you are willing to work with your manager to find a solution that benefits everyone. Once your vacation is approved, your work isn't quite done. A few days before you leave, it's a great idea to touch base with your manager and key colleagues one last time. Touch base is a popular idiom in business. It just means to talk to someone for a short time to get an update on things. For example, let's touch base next week to discuss our progress. In this meeting, you can confirm your handover plan and ask if there's anything else they need from you before you go. This final check-in is another professional touch that leaves a great impression. It reassures everyone that everything is under control. And of course, don't forget to set up your out-of-office automated email response. This is crucial. It manages expectations for people who email you while you're away. Your message should state that you are out of the office when you will return and who to contact in case of an urgent matter. This prevents people from thinking you are ignoring them and directs them to the right person for help. So let's just quickly recap the whole process. It's about planning ahead, communicating clearly, and being a proactive, responsible team member. You check the schedule, you talk to your team, you write a clear and professional email that outlines your preparation, and you follow up before you leave. Follow up is another essential phrasal verb. It means to take further action or to check on something that was discussed before. For example, I'm sending an email to follow up on our conversation. Each of these steps demonstrates your professionalism. It shows that you care about your job and your colleagues, but you also understand the importance of taking care of your own well-being. It's a skill that builds trust and respect in the workplace. And honestly, it's a skill that will serve you well throughout your entire career. It's not just about getting a day off. It's about managing your career and your life in a smart, balanced way. I find it so interesting how a simple request can reveal so much about our professional habits. It's a small action, but it reflects our ability to plan, communicate, and collaborate. When you handle it well, you're not just asking for a break, you are reinforcing your image as a reliable and thoughtful professional. It really does change your perspective, doesn't it? Instead of feeling guilty or nervous about asking for time off, you can see it as an opportunity to demonstrate your professional skills. It's a win-win situation. You get the rest you need, and your company benefits from a refreshed, more productive employee when you return. Taking time to rest isn't a luxury, it's a necessity for long-term success and happiness. Learning how to ask for it professionally is a sign of confidence and a crucial part of managing your career. If you enjoy exploring fascinating topics like psychology, success, and language, and you want to master your English along the way, I'd love for you to join our community. Subscribing to the channel and liking this video helps us a lot and ensures you won't miss our next episode. Thank you for listening, and I'll talk to you next time.